everybody, welcome back to my channel. For this video, we're going to be talking about pothos, the pothos plants. There are several different types of pothos plants out there for you guys to choose from. However, I'm more familiar with the golden pothos and the marble queen pothos, so I'm going to touch more on those types of pothos. Pothos are very beautiful, beautiful plants. They are easy maintenance. They look beautiful anywhere, pretty much if you want to hang them or just sit them in a pot on a table, wherever. And keep in mind, they are very viney, so you can kind of put them around your house and make it look like your own indoor jungle. So when it comes to light, they can require low to moderate lighting. And I have found that the golden pothos can pretty much tolerate any type of lighting as long as it's not completely like dark in a room, but they can require pretty much low light and still thrive and grow. The marble queen, I have noticed, requires a little bit more light, which is this type of plant right here. This is marble, where you have the dark and the light. They require a little bit more lighting than the golden, and the golden is like this one. Low to moderate light should be sufficient. I'm in my dining room right now. I do have a sliding door that is on an east facing sliding door, and so it gets pretty much I would say moderate light in this room, and they are doing well. Watering. When it comes to watering these plants, I probably water them maybe once a week, depending on what environment you have in your house. And I say that because I've had them dry out faster than other times. So I can't just say once a week or twice a week or every Wednesday. I feel like you kind of have to know the plant, know what environment that you're working with.
And what I mean by the environment that you're working with, I mean, what are things in your home that can contribute to the soil drying a little bit faster? For instance, like having drafts. I have a fan that's in one of my rooms with the pothos, and it will sometimes dry the soil out faster, so I would have to water it more frequently if that is the case. Now, when watering pothos or any plant really, you want to be careful with not overwatering.
You don't want to overwater. You don't want the roots to rot, so you don't want to overwater. Sometimes what I like to do is take my finger and poke it into the soil and just see how dry the soil is. If it's dry when you put your finger down about 1 to 2 inches deep, then you probably need to water. But if it's still moist on top, like you put about 1 inch in, it's still pretty moist, you do not want to water. Temperature. So temperature for pothos, they can tolerate about, I think, 50 to like 90 degrees as far as temperature. They like between like 70 and maybe 90 because they are tropical plants, so they thrive more in humidity and warmer circumstances, but they can pretty much tolerate up to 50 degrees. So if your house is colder than 50, you might have an issue. Or if you have your plant outdoors and it drops about 30 degrees or so, you need to bring that plant back inside. Now for fertilizing. When it comes to fertilizing pothos, they don't require much nutrients. So to fertilize them maybe once or every 2 months should be sufficient for these plants. And you can just use a standardized fertilizer that you can probably get at any of your local gardening stores. Soil. When it comes to soil, they can pretty much be in any type of soil. They don't require a particular type of soil. You can just pretty much use an all-purpose soil.
Now, cleaning. When it comes to cleaning your pothos, simply get a paper towel, Add soap and water and wipe each leaf off one by one, removing the dust and the dirt that have accumulated. And in doing this, you will notice that the leaves of your potho will look much greener and much more alive. And just a side note, when you are cleaning the surface of your leaves, you are allowing an easier entrance for sunlight and essentially photosynthesis.
Pruning is basically when you cut back plants. For instance, if I have this one here and I trim it back to maybe here, I can, or just even take off some of the dead. When you're cutting off the dead leaves of the plant, and even if you want to trim it back just a little bit, will certainly help the plant stay full, look healthy, and will help it grow longer if that's the type of look that you want for your plant. Propagating. Now, propagating is another term for you guys who are beginners. Propagating is when you take part of a plant and you make it into basically another plant. That's like the most simplest way I can put it. So if I wanted to, with this pothos here, I could clip back maybe up to here, and I could take this and stick this in soil or water. Now with propagating, what I found, especially with pothos, when you clip back and you want to propagate this piece, I found it better to take this piece that I'm propagating and place this plant now in water. And that way, when you put the plant in water, it'll start to develop roots inside the water. So right here I have this pothos in water, and if I lift it up, you can see what root system I have here. After you propagate your pothos plant in water, you will now have a root system like I just showed you. You can put this in soil and it'll be much stronger of a plant. Lastly, when it comes to pests, one of the most common pests are the mealybugs, and to kind of get rid of those, you want to keep an eye on your plant constantly, first of all, and then you can take, like, I've never tried this, but I've read on it that you can take like a cotton ball and dip it in alcohol and just kind of rub it on your plant to keep the mealybugs away, or you can buy a spray if you want to and kind of spray the bugs away.